Hey, fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to Photo of Eagles Now. It is a feel-good Friday here on the show, and that means it's time for a mailbag video coming up here in just a couple of minutes. First, though, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Just hit 27,000 subs. I appreciate each and every one of you. And something new we're going to do as well, a little trivia here on Thursday, or on, I guess, Friday. So here's the question. Answer this trivia question if you're a subscriber down below in the comment section. Who is, without looking, the Eagles' all-time leading receiver? Go ahead and get your thoughts down below, and I'll give you the answer here a little bit later on in the show. All right, let's jump into our first question here. Thomas Mott Rules, that's actually the name. I didn't make that up. That's a real channel. Asked, hey, Thomas, could the Eagles trade or maybe cut Jalen Reagor or J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, or even both, because they shouldn't be there shouldn't be too many wide receivers? I love your mock draft, by the way, so you could leave space for Tyquan Thornton, Wando Robinson, maybe draft Jalen Tolbert if there isn't any better players of need. The main question here is about Reagor and Whiteside. Like, someone will have to get cut. It's very, very clear. Now, Reagor's not getting cut. We've talked about trading or cutting Jalen Reagor for a very, very long time. And yes, you could trade him, but no one wants him. And there's no way to cut him due to the fact he's still on a rookie contract. And it's a first-round draft pick rookie contract, meaning cutting him would cost you like, what, $7-8 million a year, which means it's probably going to be J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Like, if they take more than... one receiver, maybe Whiteside stays. Like, they take one receiver in the draft. If they take two receivers in the draft, like I would have them do, and you mentioned my mock draft, I've been taking three receivers in my mock draft because they didn't sign anybody. If they take two, then someone's got to go, because Watkins has to stay. Like, look at the depth chart. Watkins has to stay. Obviously, Devontae Smith. You can't get rid of Reagor. He's still there. They gave an extra year. They re-signed, the wide receiver, Greg Ward, excuse me. And then, of course, you add in a rookie. Like, there's just too many guys there. So I think Whiteside gets cut in the end. And unless he balls out in training camp and someone else stinks, I just think that you're going to have a lot of new receivers after the draft, and therefore Whiteside will go ahead and be cut. No one's going to trade for either one of those two players, and so I wouldn't worry about a trade. Add break pin comment down below. You have any faith in Jalen Reagor, like, in 2022? Do you think Jalen Reagor can at all become a decent receiver? Like, what's your faith level from a scale of 1 to 10? Right? 10 being like, he'll be a first-round draft pick and look like one, or 1 being like, he's never going to be good. Let me know what your, I guess, scale is there for Reagor right now. All right, next question here comes from Karen, have you say the name? Would you rather use go O-line Linderbaum and D-line Jermaine Johnson in the draft, or wide receiver Olave and DB McDuffie, then trade and get a Jabo early in round 2? I would rather do the latter part of that, because you need a cornerback and a wide receiver right now, and then obviously you get the pass rusher and a Jabo in round 2. We gotta remember, though, Howie always focuses on the line. Like, Howie Roseman has been an offensive and defensive line guy his entire tenure as GM. They're always taking first-round pass rushers. They're always taking first-round offensive linemen. So it wouldn't surprise me if he goes with the O-line, D-line with the first 2 picks, and then gets wide receiver later on in the draft. Plus, he has a bad track record of taking receivers in the first round the past couple of years. They've missed on a lot of these receivers, and so maybe he's a little scared to kind of miss on another one. I know Devontae Smith worked out, but Devontae Smith is actually like a really good player, so that was kind of easy. Your mom and I could have easily taken Devontae Smith and been just as smart looking as Howie Roseman. So I would like wide receiver and cornerback there with the first 2 picks, although don't be surprised if Howie goes O-line and D-line, because I'm telling you, he's an O-line and D-line focused guy, and he knows that this defensive line especially has got to improve, and I think that's why he's going to spend another first-round draft pick on a pass rusher. As I mentioned earlier, we hit 27,000 subs here on the channel. I appreciate each and every one. 27K is insane. Like, it's insane that 27,000 people want to watch me talk about the Eagles, but why not 30? Let's get to 30,000 subscribers here. If you're new, welcome to the club. If you like the Eagles, we're the fastest growing, to be the best Eagles channel on the platform. If you like the Birds, go ahead and go down below and subscribe. Cameron Johnson says, Thomas, how do you see Kenny Gainwell being used next year? I see him being used as running back too, and I thought they'd sign somebody in free agency. They might still draft somebody, but he's going to be RB2, and I think he'll be a lot more used than he did this past year. He had games where he was used a lot, and then games where he wasn't used a lot. I think they're going to use him a lot more than people expected. My big question mark really is Miles Sanders. Like, are we ever going to get a full year of Miles Sanders? Like a full legit year of how good this guy can be? Because Miles Sanders could be as good as Shady McCoy was at one point, but he can't stay healthy. And even when he stays healthy, he has really good games. He has some average games, like they don't use him, for instance, early on in the season. Can we get a full healthy year of Miles Sanders? If you do, and you get a full year, he's a 1,000-yard back, like, for sure. He's going to be fantastic. And then you pair him with Gainwell, you pair him with, Boston Scott, or you draft somebody in the later rounds. My more concern is Sanders, because Gainwell's never going to be just a pure number 1. He's always going to be a role player as a running back. He can be a very good number 2. He won't be a number 1. Sanders, though, can be a number 1 if he stays healthy and if they run the football. What do you guys think? Will Sanders have 1,000 yards rushing? What do you think? Like this year? Like 1,000 yards rushing? You think they will, or he will? Type Y down below for yes. I think he will not. Go ahead and type N down below for no. Quickly here, the NBA playoffs are literally starting. Like the play-in tournament is next week, and so if you guys want to bet on the play-in tournament, bet on the Sixers, who are seemingly going to be a top 5 seed right now in the Eastern Conference. Do it with our friends at BetUS. JetSports.com/EaglesBet is the link that you need. Promo code EAGLES125 gets you a 125% deposit bonus whenever you first sign up. So you put $100 down, use our link and our promo code, turns into $225 for you guys to bet on the Sixers. Is this the year? Harden a little shaky the other night, but hopefully gets to postseason, you figure things out. Bet on the Sixers, bet on the NBA, the friends at BetUS. Punter11 says, how much better is the secondary with a guy like Tyrann Mathieu? Well, as of filming this, they haven't signed him, right? So on a Friday morning, they have not signed Tyrann Mathieu. Now, they could this weekend. The talks, obviously, saw the Chase's video yesterday. They're starting to intensify. Here's the deal. Mathieu makes Gannon's life easier. Like, you're talking about how much better this defense is. This makes Gannon's life overall way, way better. And Jonathan Gannon, he has a good defense, and at times he did a really good job last year. There are other times where you're just kind of wondering, like, what are you doing? Like, bring some pressure. And I think he was hesitant to bring pressure because there wasn't a lot on the backside. Anthony Harris, Roddy McLeod, Steven Nelson, nothing really special there. So I think this is a big deal to have Mathieu in there, and hence why Howie is keeping an eye on him. Now, I think Howie is trying to do it on a cheap deal. Howie's not going to break the bank for Tyrann Mathieu, hence why he's not signed yet. Howie wants him. Howie wants to go sign him. Everything I've heard, Eagles are all in, but they want to do it on like a cheaper deal, and so it's kind of up to Mathieu to decide that because he wanted some serious money, and obviously his age and market is not as big as a lot of people thought. So I definitely think this would be a big signing for Gannon's future as a defensive coordinator and maybe head coach eventually in the league. But Mathieu on this defensive front would be, or defensive backfield would be incredible. All right, back to our trivia question. Did you get your answer down below? We'll see who got it right. Remember, no cheating. Eagles all-time leading receiver, Harold Carmichael, 8,979 yards. That's the answer to your trivia question. Hopefully you got it right. We'll see. I'm going to scroll through and see. Of course, you maybe cheated. Don't cheat, right? We're going to do this every single week. Don't cheat when we ask the trivia questions. Did you get it right? If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Chris Spence, do you think the Eagles should realistically trade up in the draft using one of their first-round picks combined with Andre Dillard? Say there are a lot of tackle-needy teams and he was serviceable. If they do, who could they potentially trade up for? Yeah, I don't think that would be worth it. Like, I don't think a team would just take Dillard in a first to give you their first-round draft pick. You got to sweeten the deal a little bit more. But I'm shocked Dillard's still on this roster. You mentioned a lot of left tackle needy teams, and Dillard in the couple of games he filled in for Mailata last year, he looked fine. I think if Jordan Mailata didn't exist, we'd all be very happy with the first-round draft pick of Andre Dillard. He's kind of come into his own. So it surprises me he's not been traded, but if he does, it'll be during the draft from one of those, left tackle needy teams. So I don't think you can package, 15 and Dillard to go up to 8. But you could package 15 and Dillard and a second and go up to 8, and then, get Ahmad Gardner or whoever you want there at number 8. One more here. Nico the Sinner says, what up, Tom? I love all your Eagles content, but I got to ask, you went to Baylor and Waco, currently live in Atlanta, and you're a huge Eagles fan. How did you become an Eagles fan? I get this question all the time. People are you a real Eagles fan? Yes, 100%. I am a real Eagles fan. So I actually have never lived in Philly. Seriously, and that's not to me a prerequisite to have to be an Eagles fan. I became an Eagles fan when I was 4. I remember my first Christmas getting my Eagles gear, but we don't know why I picked them. My parents were Bronco fans, and I remember pictures of me at 3 years old in a John Elway jersey, but I guess I wanted my own team. Eagles were winning in the early 2000s, and I picked them, and I've been a diehard ever since. So, but you're right. I've been affiliated a couple times. I've been to a game with the Link. I've been there, but I've never lived there, and I just kind of a random instance where I went ahead and chose Philadelphia. So I'm curious though, when did you guys first become an Eagle fan? Did you guys grow up Eagles fans? Were your parents Eagles fans? Because mine weren't. I just randomly picked them, and then ride or die ever since. Whenever I was just a little kid, now 26 years old. So we'll end on this. When did you become an Eagles fan? Let me know how it worked out. How I'm happy. I'm excited to read those stories down below in the comments section. All right, ultimately today on our Eagles mailbag video, hashtag Eagles in the comments section to be part of next week's mailbag video. Must, of course, be a subscriber. And give me a follow on Twitter at Real Thomas Mott for more Eagles content. If they sign Mathieu, we'll talk about it here. We'll cover it on my Twitter and also on the channel over the weekend. For Philadelphia Eagles now, Thomas Mott signing off for the rest of your day.